Hello guys, so today I'm going to be talking about um, how you can win with apology. This is something that many people might not want to hear, but if you're going to listen to the end, I believe you're going to be much wiser. You're going to be much wiser. How you can win with your apology, because the one who apologizes is not always the loser. There's actually wisdom. There's actually wisdom in apology. Let me explain what I mean by that. I know it might be quite difficult for many of us to grasp because people can be quite annoying. We have been offended in crazy ways. I'm talking to a lot of people who must have been offended in ways that I might not understand, but still, just listen to the end. Okay, so when it comes to apologizing, when it comes to apologies, there are lots of apologies that if you had made, perhaps your life would not be as difficult. Life would not have been as difficult as it is, perhaps. Let me talk, because anything I share with you all is practical. When I mean practical, is something that I have implemented, like as the channel name is Grow with Daniel. That is stuff that I have implemented over and over, and I've seen the wisdom in it. Let me use myself practically. Okay, so there are relationships that I still have today. There are relationships that are funding me today, not just that I have, that are funding me today, that if I had not apologized, I would have had myself to blame. Not because I was not genuinely offended. I was genuinely offended, but because I was wise enough to apologize and keep the relationship going. Because I had to swallow my ego. There are some relationships that, the people, they are quite annoying, very annoying. They are very, annoying kind of creatures, annoying kind of human beings. But when you know what you stand to gain in that relationship, I don't think apology should be a big thing. I don't think your ego should be so much of a thing to let go of. There are times when I've had to swallow my ego because it is a win-win thing. It's a win-win thing. If I don't swallow my ego is not going to feed me, right? If I can let go of my ego, I will keep benefiting from this relationship. If I don't let go of my ego, I will have my ego to eat, right? I will feed on my ego. Not because these people are actually feeding me, but when I'm saying, when I say eat, is not necessarily like feeding, as in, not like I am looking for someone to feed me or something. When I mean like eat, I mean I know, in terms of connection, in terms of social relationships, in terms of fundings, I know the kind of benefits I tend to get from these relationships, such that I tend to overlook. Most of the time they tend to look at you, maybe you are weak, or they tend to look at you as the weaker one. There are some things you have to like bear or overlook to gain some kind of grounds, to gain some kind of advantage. Not that from when you apologize, from the time of apology henceforth, you'll be looked down upon. No, you won't be looked down upon. You still have your self-respect, depending on how you carry yourself. You still have your everything, your ego still intact, and at the same time, an added advantage of the benefit or the advantage you gain, or you've always gained from that relationship. So most of the time, it is not the one who apologizes that is weak. It is the one who apologizes that is even wise. It is wise most of the time to apologize, especially in scenarios whereby this relationship is one that you tend to benefit from in every wise. In every wise, this relationship, yes, they tend to benefit from you, but at the same time, you know what you are benefiting from that relationship, such that you would have yourself to blame if you let go of it. Not that you're not begging someone or now being stepped upon, and is let's take for example, you have a relationship whereby you have this friend that the guy is or the lady is a very generous person. The person is someone you can look like, you can call upon anytime, any day. You are rest assured the person is going to help you. The person has that kind of heart. He's a very liberal person, very generous, very, very benevolent, and that's one thing you like about that person. That's one of the reasons you really love that person. And let's say along the line, the person got you so hot that and if you look at this, if you look at the state of this relationship, perhaps yes, you are adding to the other person, but let's say on a psychological level, you help the person with advice or stuff like that, because the relationship is a two-way thing. However you want to see relationship is transactional. It could be emotional transaction, physical transaction, it could whatever. Let's not go into that. I'll talk about that later. So let's say that you know what the person is gaining from you, and at the same time you know what you're getting from this person's benevolence. And this person's benevolence in the long run, in the course of a relationship, has so really helped you. Has so really helped you, like it's so indispensable. Then a time came when this person so like really annoyed you. Let's say to the point of betrayal. To the point of betrayal. Let me put it that way. I don't know the height of the annoyance. Let's say maybe the person betrayed you or really annoyed you. Now here is now what you have to do. Juxtapose what you stand to gain by letting this person go. Most of the time, what you just have to do is learn from what the person has done to you and know where to draw the line when it comes to that relationship. That's just it. Know when to draw the line, then forgive that person and let you guys, because you know what you stand to gain. You know that this person is someone you can call upon whenever or whatever time it is, and this person is going to turn up for you. Because of that singular reason, there could be more, but because of given the case scenario I just buttressed, because of that singular reason, you can decide to do away with whatever it is the person has. Then also learn from it. Not just do away from it, learn what you can learn from it and do away with the rest. Know when to draw the line. If it was a case of betrayal, or if it was just like something that, let me not go into details or stuff like that. If it was something that really annoyed you, just maybe show your annoyance, but still apologize. Like, okay, should I say how would I say it? Okay, let's say you were the one that annoyed the person. Maybe it is something that the person shouldn't see as annoyance, but the person took it. Some people can really escalate little issues. Something that is nothing. The person took it, and you're like, "I what's this stuff?" Okay, now like the person is now like, you have to apologize, and you're like, "Is this something I will have to apologize?" Like, what's this? Given our friendship and all, like you can't even see a reason to apologize. You understand? So I'm advising you now, go and apologize to that person. You know what you stand to gain. You know what benefit you gain from this person's life. Anyways, just take it, just do like nothing happened. It is wisdom. Because if you choose to stay with your ego and lose this relationship, you have yourself to blame, because you've lost more than you could even imagine. Because the ego, oh my God. When you apologize, your ego is still intact. It all depends on you. It all depends on how you carry on with the relationship. Your ego is still intact. So why not apologize and get the benefit, and not apologize and lose? It is a win-win stuff. If you don't apologize, you've lost and you've lost and you've lost. You understand? So sometimes you just have to overlook the person, overlook the annoyance, overlook whatever happened, and just apologize. Because you know what you stand to gain. You apologizing does not mean you are weak. You apologizing does not mean you are stupid. But there's something the person does not know. And most of the time, the other party will not know. They will not know that, okay, this is it. You just have to reflect. You just have to introspect rather, analyze the situation, know what it takes, and perhaps let's say when a relationship is such that I don't think there's any relationship where you don't have to gain something or something like that. There are relationships that you maybe could easily do away with, but there are those where you have to swallow your ego. That's what this is all about. There are those relationships you have in your life that you just have to swallow your ego and do the needful. So I have relationships in my life today that if I hadn't been the one always apologizing, that relationship would have been no more years ago. And today those relationships are funding me. Those relationships are of so much benefit to me that are indispensable. I don't want to go into so much details because one of such people might come across this video. So do yourself that favor. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, okay? You know what I'm talking about. The people I'm talking to, they know themselves. It's not worth it. Just do away, forgive the person, and move on with your life. You would even benefit more in the long run, especially when he's a nice person. He's a nice person. Is let's say the friend that annoyed that you had this whatever with is someone that is genuine at heart, someone nice. But you guys have come to that junction of friction. Has come to that junction where the fire has been lit, and you know that left for this person is not going to apologize, and left for you, you know that this person is not even worth your apology. Given the case scenario, it's not even worth it, you know. But just stoop low. You understand? Stoop low. Sometimes you have to be humble to be lifted up. You have to let people step on you for you to be crowned. You know, that's what most of our politicians do. They go to the market when they are when they want to when they are campaigning. They go to the market, they sit with you, they eat your crap and all of that. But at the end of the day, it is for their own favor. You know, it is. I'm not teaching you to manipulate people. Don't manipulate people. It's called wisdom. This is wisdom. You should know there's a thin line. You should know the line between wisdom and manipulation. This is wisdom, okay? So do yourself a favor today and apologize. See you on the next one. Bye, guys.